Good morning, everyone out there, and welcome to the Modcast, episode 5. It is Rogue's return, and I'm your host, Kuja, and here, as you can hear, is the lovely Rogue. She is back from her adventures. There's more on that later. She will
Guess who's back again. Get demonetized.
She will be regaling us with all of her exploits across Lost Lands, or at least all the ones that she can tell us about.
And America. There's quite a few things about America. That was interesting. I'll make it sound like it wasn't interesting. It was interesting. It's just there was a lot of random stuff that went down too. Jake knows some of it.
Yes. Now, we're going to jump straight into the updates for the server first, and then we're going to go into all of the storyline from Rogue. Now, the updates for the server are specifically that we have removed some channels to make it a bit easier to find everything, so that it's more organised and people can chat away in the different channels that we have now. We've removed some of the voice channels as well because they're barely being used, and we moved specifically the main one that got moved was lyrics discussion is now part of music discussion, as well as artists as well. They're all in one category, so you can feel free to chat in there. The other gaming got moved into arts and crafts because it's technically a craft, because you have to use skill to game technically, so it can be classed under there. There's a few others as well, so just have a look around and you'll see some of the changes. The other major update is, as of this week, we hit over 700 people in the server. So that's 700
and
snacks.
I've got my celebratory. I can't speak. Celebratory. That's not a word. It's celebratory. I don't know. I'm celebrating with a can of Monster is what I'm trying to say, okay?
That's why someone's awake. She has Monster. I have had coffee, so I'm good.
Monster is my coffee. But I've got caffeine in it, so...
Yes, we have over 700 snacks in this server now. And yes, that does still include Mr. Jake. We're still yet to get Mrs. Kaya. We are determined that we will get her to join the server at some point. I say at some point because we don't... Yeah.
We need our Kaya. Everybody loves Kaya. We need Kaya.
So Jake, if you're hearing this, would you like to convince, please? Would be helpful. She doesn't have to do anything, she just has to be there.
Kaya, we love you so much. Please join. We've got a lovely role that complements Jake's role for you.
Yes. And you'll like it. We hope. Anyway.
Yeah, we hope.
It's been quite busy on the server the past couple of weeks. Obviously, I do apologise that the Modcasts have not been coming out, or at least some of them didn't have any talking. It's because we were missing the Rogue.
Another little thing is we apologise about the React bot being more down than I am, and I have depression.
Yes, the bots. Some of the bots have been up and down. The React bot, as well as Mr. Meeseeks, has been up and down as well.
Hydra's been a little bit but it does that sometimes anyway. So if you're trying to listen to music with Hydra and it doesn't work, it'll kick back up eventually anyway. So don't worry about it. Just listen to Spotify or something. If it ends up persisting, we'll look into it.
Yes.
Just let us know.
Yeah. So it's been busy. That's all we can say. There's been plenty of shares from, especially when it comes to Inktober, and that's still going on. It's interesting to see people's art and seeing what they're doing for the days and everything else. So October seems to be quite a busy month for everybody. Busy. We like to be busy bees. So anyway, I do believe that's everything updated for the server.
Yeah, Until next time.
Until next week, when we give you more updates.
If there are any updates.
Yes. But we will be getting these back out every week. So, I do believe it's now time for story from the Rogue. Story time with Rogue.
What's the story about? No.
Just no.
No.
So, I am going to let you listen to the lovely Rogue. And we're going to hear all of everything that happened in America.
Right. But before I get into America, I'm going to get into all the shit that happened when I got back, because that part's the least interesting thing. So, yeah. So everybody in the server will have known that I was going to be back within like a week after I came back because of jet lag, at least. So that's like a month altogether, like 4 weeks. That never happened. So what actually happened there is the reason why I said 3 weeks, not like just under 3 weeks. Well, I said around 3 weeks, but the reason why I said 3 weeks is basically on the flight back. Basically what happened is we'll start there. There was the flight back. I was sat waiting for the flight, and then I hear, we're gonna update you guys in an hour because the AC in the aeroplane is not working, and we're not gonna hear back from anyone until like basically the time of our flight. And I'm just like, oh, great, flight delays. This is interesting. So I'm just like laughing, and there's a guy opposite me. I said, of all the fucking things it could have been, it's the fucking AC. Like, why? Just why? Anyway, so I continue listening to my music. It turns out the flight had a half an hour delay, which isn't too bad. I got back. Bear in mind, about the flight was at like 9 p.m. Eastern time. And there's a 5-hour difference. The flight itself was 7 hours. So I'm on this flight for 7 hours. And I roughly get back to the UK at like 9 in the morning on the 2nd of October. And the weirdest thing is, while I was on the flight, I had a window seat. And the guy next to me was asleep the entire time. So here I am on a 7-hour flight, desperately needing the toilet, and I can't use the toilet. So this information will come in handy from when I get off the flight. So I get my suitcase. Obviously, I'm not going to use the toilet in the airport because I've got a suitcase with me. It'd just be... I don't like going into toilet cubicles with suitcases, especially considering usually they're very cramped. So I end up getting the train back to Manchester Piccadilly. And from there, I wind up basically like walking around Manchester looking for somewhere where I can get some food and drink, because I'm not only hungry, but I want a drink too. Anyway, I end up in Starbucks, and I connect to the Wi-Fi in Starbucks while I'm eating a cheese toastie, and I'm sat there just desperately needing a pee. I didn't even get a drink because I needed a pee that bad. So there I am, desperately needing a pee. Bear in mind, I got this can. No, not a can. I got a bottle of Mountain Dew Code Red in the airport. So I'm walking around with this bottle of Mountain Dew Code Red. I need a drink, but I'm not drinking it because I need to pee. really badly, and the last thing I want to do when I need to pee is drink more liquids. So, I end up eventually saying to the guy behind the counter, I'm like, "Hey, can you keep an eye on my suitcase? Because I've been needing to pee for like 9 hours, and I just really need the toilet." And he's like, "Yeah, well, I'm just gonna use the toilet. I'll be a minute." And I'm like, "Okay, cool." Anyway, I end up finally using the toilet like 9 hours later. And then after that, I'm like walking around. I don't really know what to do because I've got how many hours? Like, I had to check into the hotel at like 3 p.m. and I literally managed to kill 2 hours before I thought, screw it. So it was like maybe 12 p.m., which for some reason I thought it was 1. And I end up going to the hotel region, and I'm probably gonna need your input on this one, Kuja, in a minute, because it was after that I ended up joining in Discord because I was sat in a cafe. So I end up basically getting to the hotel region, and because I ended up getting a black, and so I get to the hotel, and he says, "Oh well, you can't really check in until 3." I'm like, "Okay." So the guy lets me leave my stuff behind the counter, and then I leave, and then I'm literally sat outside, like, there's nothing around me, no shops or anything, and I'm like, I don't know what to do to kill this time. I'm like tired, I'm jet lagged, I wanna rest. So I ended up basically, after about half an hour of sitting on a step outside of the hotel, I ended up going for a little walk. I thought, okay, if I walk straight, I should be fine. I should be able to find my way back. So I walk straight on. I get to a main road where there's like a bunch of shops and stuff, and I walk down, and then I sit down for a little bit, just listen to my music and stuff, and then I think, I'm bored, sat here, so I'll walk back. Bear in mind, before I left, my phone had broken, so I had no and I was just bored to high heavens. I couldn't text anyone. I couldn't do any. And I go into this cafe, and I'm like, "Do you guys have Wi-Fi?" And they said, "No, but we can put a hotspot on for you, considering your situation." I'm like, "Okay, thank you." And so I end up like drinking this iced tea while I'm in there. No, not iced tea, iced coffee. It was an iced coffee. And I'm just sat in there, and after being sat there for a little bit, I end up connected to the internet, which is when I ended up talking to Kuja on Discord.
Yep. Whilst he's waiting to get into the hotel.
Yeah, I was literally there like, I don't know what to do. I'm bored. I can't check in yet.
However, we did ended up having a good conversation and everything else, and kept her not from being so bored.
About Lost Lands.
Yes. Speaking about Lost Lands.
Oh, I'm not even done with this story yet.
We may end up having to put Lost Lands into the next episode then.
No, because literally the next part of the story is basically I end up eventually getting back to the hotel, checking in, connecting to the Wi-Fi. I ordered a pizza. I ended up ordering a pizza to the hotel, and then going to sleep. And then obviously, I think there's a photo on my Instagram. So if you guys don't follow me on Instagram, I recommend that. But I wore my Excision shirt that I got from Lost Lands, which more on that later. I wore my Excision shirt to Static X, and honestly, Static, like the next day it was Static X. That's the reason why I ended up staying in Manchester for which, oh my god, that was like a major. I was crying my eyes out. It was just because, for those who don't know, Wayne Static, the vocalist of Static X, passed away some time ago, and this was they had like a huge tribute to Wayne like throughout the whole set. It was emotional. It was very emotional. Anyway, I ended up after that day, I ended up coming. Oh wait, no. There's one little thing I should about that. After the concert, I was literally waiting around asking people if they remembered Michael Jackson that were working with the bands.
Why?
Because it was funny.
And this is why we classed the Rogue as weird. Because she has a weird sense of humour.
So, yes, basically I do that, and yeah, so fast forward, I'm back home. I end up basically simultaneously crying and sleeping a lot over the next 2 weeks. Because I started getting like really stressed out though, because I couldn't stay awake, and also I couldn't fix my body clock it back into the UK time zone, could I?
No, you were asleep for most of the time.
Yeah, so that's why I was absent for way too long. So it's pretty much fixed kind of now. I'm still very tired, but that's probably because my body's confused when I do things now. Because I was doing quite a bit while I was over in America. And then I went from doing a lot to doing absolutely nothing. And then whenever I do things, it just drains me. But I should hopefully have that fixed pretty soon. Yeah. Anyway, let's get into the fun stuff. Even though that stuff was kind of a little bit fun.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm basically, I get to America, and the first thing I do, of course, is buy fucking Mountain Dew. But I'll get to that. Right, so my friend Draco picked me up at the airport, and I decided to get my dodo flag out of the suitcase so that he can easily spot me. So I get my dodo flag out, and I'm walking around. Well, it's like a. If you've been to an airport, you'll know that there's always like a car park area, like pick up, drop off kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
So basically, I was in the pickup area where my friend Draco was, and I end up like I have a cigarette because I've not had a cigarette in like 8, and then he actually ends up driving by. I'm like, oh, there you are. So I go and I put my suitcase in, I put my bag in, I take my jacket off because I'm in America and it's no longer cold. And we drive off. So we get to the area, and he takes me. The first place he takes me is to Wawa, because I'd not been to America since 2015, and if I missed anything more than anything, it was Mountain Dew code, Mountain Dew Voltage, mozzarella sticks, and Wawa.
So you basically went and got food first before you did anything else?
Yeah, that's basically it. The first things that I bought were Wawa mac and cheese, Mountain Dew Code Red, and he got some mozzarella sticks and he let me have one. I'm like, oh my god, this is perfect. So yeah. So we get back to his, and oh my god, the first thing I see as I come through the door, I thought it was a puppy, but it wasn't. She was a fully grown dog, and she was so fucking cute. Oh my god. Like, his dog Lily, oh my god, she was so adorable. She's like jumping up at me, giving me cuddles, licking my face. Like, there was actually one point where I was just sat there watching TV with her, and she kept diving up at me and trying to lick my face. But because I was like, no, stop licking me, she ends up crawling down around the back of the sofa and starts licking the back of my head. And I'm just sat there laughing my fucking ass off. I'm like, oh god, Lily, what are you doing? And he's laughing, and he's like, Lily's a weirdo. he calls her the rapist.
Fair enough.
Oh my god. It's like, why are you licking the back of my head? It's so weird, but it's so funny, and I can't. But yeah, his other dog, Jackson. Oh my god, Jackson was so fucking. Basically, he was this small, like, he was a black dog, but his fur was so soft, and he was so. At one point, I was sat on the kitchen floor, just like, I was petting Jaxie, and like his head was like resting on my. And he was being so adorable, and he comes over and she's getting like jealous. She wants attention. So I've got Lily on my leg. So I'm petting Lily and giving her a cuddle at the same time while Jaxie's just kind of laid there. And his parents were sat there just laughing, and they're like, "Oh, look at that! You've made a new friend." Honestly,
well, you being a glow stick, it's easy to make friends with animals.
Honestly, the best fucking like environment to stay in ever. So, but the first night that I got there, I actually got to see Baby Metal.
Well, that was unexpected.
Yeah, the first day I got there, my friend Scarlett had a ticket going, and she's like, "Oh, I've got a spare ticket." And so my friend Draco drives me to Scarlett, and I meet Scarlett's friend Corel, who is also pretty. She is fucking awesome too. So we ended up keeping in contact. So we end up going to see Baby Metal. Bear in mind that I'm tired from the flight, and I hadn't slept in like 2 days. So, like, I ended up, like, seeing Baby Metal, which there should be footage in the vlog that'll be coming out from that. Same with Static X, there should be footage from that too.
Awesome.
So
more work for me.
I'm still trying to upload everything onto G Drive. Like, ugh, fucking internet connections and So anyway, it so we see Baby Metal, and then I stay at Scarlett's that night, and it was really good getting to like hang out with her. I think for starters, instead of going in order of how things happened, we'll go by this. Um, one of the times while I was staying at Scarlett's, her brother Nick was there, and I knew that he'd been acting a bit weird, and even I noticed that he was being a bit weird compared to the Nick I knew. It's like, dude, you good? You good? So we ended up like setting up this fire in the backyard, and we were just chilling there listening to music and like talking about random crap. And bear in mind, Nick used to be able to jest around with like dirty humor and stuff. So me and Scarlett are just sat there being really dirty minded and coming out with all this like dirty stuff and like doing our usual stuff. And Nick, this is what I mean. Like he's gone a bit funny compared to the Nick that I remember. He ended up basically going off on like just ignoring it, and it was like, what? And then when we tried to include him in it, he was like, yeah, I don't know what you're talking about. And it's like, we're just like, what, dude? You used to laugh about this shit all the time. Like, what happened to you? But his excuse is he found Jesus. So I guess, you know, each to their own.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, so another thing is he tried to get me to play basketball with him. Kuja, you know exactly why this is funny.
Yes. Your inability.
Yeah. He ended up seeing why it's a bad idea to get me to play basketball, because I did try it out. I did have fun, but it was at a greater cost.
Yeah.
It's like, see, it's not that I don't want to, it's that it's not a good idea. But yeah.
No, but it definitely sounds like you had a great time over before going to Lost Lands.
Well,
I mean,
I ended up in Virginia at one point. I actually went. I went to I went to Petersburg, but I went into Richmond. See, one of my best friends lives in Petersburg, which is near Richmond, and I got to meet her girlfriend and also her girlfriend's kid, which, oh my god, she is so precious. That little girl is so I adored her. It's like, oh. But we ended up going to, you know, like there's this whole the drag queen in America are like completely different to the UK.
yeah.
So we go to this like gay bar, and I'm like there just like, what, wow, like my jaw was dropping. Basically what happened was they had like this kind of like thing where people were paying, they were literally holding out like dollar notes, like they're holding out dollar bills and for the drag queens to take off of them. And it was like almost like a strip club kind of aesthetic, except they were just dancing and not stripping.
Oh.
It was nuts, but what threw me was the fact the drag queens there are so good at what they do that they genuinely look like women. That's like it was just insane to me. Shit. If no, I'm not gonna say that. Like no, that's a bit too. So yeah. We ended up talking to one of them, which was my absolute favorite from the show, called London, and turns out London is actually from Liverpool.
Oh.
Yeah, like small world, right? So yeah, on top of the fact that me and my friend's girlfriend were literally sat in this area of the gay bar trying to put on our country accent.
Did you manage
that?
that?
Was fun. She could do it better than me, but she's already American, so she's cheating. But I managed to get it. She's like, "Yeah, you've really got." I'm like, "Okay, I'll do it." And we were both just talking like that for like about half an hour. And my friend Erica is there like, "Oh, I'm not with." It's like, but you clearly are though. Anyway, that was oh yeah, shit. There was the stuff like with we went to the vets with my friend's dog, and her dog Boomer had his teeth out, and he had one of those cones on to stop him from messing with it because he had his gums stitched up.
Mm-hmm.
And oh my god, it was like, oh, poor baby. It's like I feel sorry for you, but no, he can't cone off. But yeah, that's one thing. Like, oh, there were so many cute doggos.
See, now that's what could have kept you there for even longer, with being all the doggos.
Yeah, the cute doggos. Like I'm a sucker for animals. Like my friend had a cat, 2 dogs, 2 chinchillas, and I think about snakes. Oh no, snakes and a tarantula. It was nuts. Like I'm like, why do you need so many animals? I mean, she works at PetSmart, so it's, one of those things. Anyway, so that was Virginia. So anything else of significance that would be interesting? There was the house party, which I think I did post. Yeah, there was the house party where I played some of Jake's music to a bunch of people. I was mostly playing. Bear in mind, these people are more into rap.
And you ended up playing Jake, which is quite funny.
Yeah.
I mean,
they were digging it though. Like it's not that like. It's like everyone has their specific go-to genre that they listen to 24/7, and theirs just so happened to be rap. So it was like they were digging Jake's music. That was the cool thing. They mostly were digging the dubstep though.
Of course.
I was like, my boy. Anyway, yeah, there was that party and another house party, which there was live bands playing. Like seriously, America's got things going down. Like they know where it's at. Then
And we're back.
Okay, so it gets to the Tuesday. I believe that 20. Yeah, Tuesday the 24th of September. We are doing a. By we I mean we are doing a 4-hour drive to Monison, Pennsylvania. Yep. So that's just kind of like, bear in mind, Monison is near Pittsburgh, which is the other side of Pennsylvania in comparison to Philly. And that just kind of like shows how big a state is, like in general. Because this isn't like lengthways. If you were to drive from one side of Philly to the other going up, or would it be down? I think it would be up. It would take than it would driving, say, Philly to Pittsburgh. So I go to Monison. Basically, I really want to go to this this brain. I really wanted to go to this college in America, in Monison, Pennsylvania, called Douglas Education Center. So basically I went there to get a tour around. So I toured the facilities, and I asked a bunch of questions that I needed answering, and also I ended up getting a pamphlet thing to read through. And then from there, we ended up driving to a town outside of Monison just to stay in a hotel, because we are going to be going to Ohio the next day. So it basically, we drove to this place the day before we had to be at Lost Lands. Bear that in mind. So we've already cut the journey in half by doing this. So we wound up in that place, and they had a bar, and I asked for a Black Russian because I love me Black Russians. And let's just say that the Black Russian was as strong as a German Black Russian. And I was just like, yep, I am only having one of so we have one. Obviously that was the night that I ended up having to come on to Discord and talk to Kuja and Kiwi about a few things. So they actually got to speak to me before I went to Lost Lands. Fucking throat. So yeah. Next day comes around. I'm getting ready for Lost Lands. I'm really nervous. I'm really excited. And I'm getting the feelings that I did then. And going basically, we were driving to Columbus before we went to Legend Valley. And the reason being is we were going to be picking up someone that I'd been talking to called Frank. I don't know how much I should say. I don't know, Kuja, how much should I say about this?
Minimal.
Okay, so we're gonna be picking up that I'd been talking to called. Let's just say we're talking in a interest kind of way. There you go. That's minimal. So
that's good.
So I get to Lost Lands. Well, I don't get to Lost Lands. I get to Columbus, and what what we end up doing is while we're waiting for Frankie, because he was getting the Greyhound bus from Chicago, Illinois, to Columbus, and we ended up meeting this old retired gentleman who was feeding squirrels. And we ended up, while we were waiting, feeding the squirrel. I know a lot of you guys are going to love that. So these squirrels are so adorable. They'd run right up to us and we'd like throw a nut, and it's like, oh, it's so cute. And just like grab it and like start eating. It's like, no, cutie.
And this is where Rogue's heart melts because of animals, yet again.
Yeah, it's a squirrel. The entire time I was there, every time I saw a squirrel, oh my god, a squirrel! And my friend Scarlett was just like, have you never seen, like, do you not have squirrels in the UK? I'm like, we do, but squirrel. Anyway, Frankie gets in Columbus. We end up getting some foodsie, and then we continue our journey to Walmart to get some alcohol and stuff. The alcohol I ended up picking sucked. It said cocktail, so I thought, oh, it'll taste nice. It's a canned cocktail. Nope. It was like the lamest cocktail I've ever had. And so we managed to get to Legend Valley after this, and we set up camp, and we have a few drinks. We, like, me and Frankie ended up setting up like a hammock somewhere in the campgrounds and just chilling out in this hammock. And then we went back to the tent, went to sleep, and the real fun began the next morning. So we are walking around, basically, walking around the entirety of the campgrounds, and basically exploring stuff. Oh my god, it was so beautiful. The heat was intense. I loved it so much. And we ended up coming across a girl. Well, I say girl, she's a woman, but yeah, we came across Kayla. And there's a reason why this one sticks out. So Kayla says to me, do you want to trade candy? And obviously I knew about candy trades. I'm a part of the Lost Lands group on Facebook, like the official group.
Just one thing.
Yeah. So she teaches me how to do candy trades. I didn't have any candy, but she gave the candy that she and she took us back to whereabouts she was camping, and we meet the group that she was camping with. So I end up with meeting this group of really awesome people, and they said to me and Frankie, oh, come back later and we can make candy together, kind of thing. We never ended up going back that day. We ended up too busy chilling out in the in a hammock after that. And then we ended up, because Thursday's the pre-party. It's like the whole like getting into Lost Land Spirit Day, and we ended up going into the actual venue. Like, okay, so as soon as I get through those gates, my jaw just dropped. I was like, oh my god. It was beautiful. It was so amazing. Like, words can't even describe. Honestly, it just, you
Well,
if you
animatronic dinosaurs with, as you
Yeah.
said, with buttholes.
they are, yeah, they are everywhere. They are everywhere. They are in the campsite. When you walk through those gates into the main part of like the venue, like the main venue, like literally there's it's like words can't even describe. Like, there's like trees and like it's just so open, and there's like so many people and lights and dinosaurs, and oh, like the best thing I can say is if you watch one of the trailers on YouTube for Lost Lands, it doesn't even come close to how it actually is. Like, the feeling you get from that video times 10 is just, it's just, you can't even like begin to put it into words. It is that just amazing. I'm still like blown away by it. I'm gonna take this moment, since I'm on this area, to say, Jeff, which a lot of people know as Excision, if you even know Excision. You have done such an amazing job at creating a festival, my guy. Like, shit. Like, I have never ever seen such a beautiful, amazing festival down to a T in my entire life, let alone like an environment that amazing. I have never felt so, I've never felt so welcomed. I've never experienced anything like that in my life. And you, my guy, shit. If you ever hear this is from me coming from the UK to Lost Lands for the first time in my life, saying fucking well done, just well done. Like, year 3, like 3rd year, I honestly think you've done such an amazing job with this festival, and keep up the good work. Honestly, keep it up, because that just, wow. But yeah, continuing. Me and Frankie ended up setting up like a hammock in the trees. Again, we were just hammocking the whole. It's not Lost Lands, it's Hammock Lands. So we were in the trees, in the hammock, just watching the stage. We're looking at the lasers, looking at the light, vibing, like really vibing. And oh my god, Frankie in his little wolf suit. Well, it was his little wolf, rave wolf, galactic thing that he can. Oh, it was so adorable. Anyway, so the next day, we ended up meeting up with Kayla and the others and making candy. So we were just there making candy. And then we all end up going into the venue together. But along the way, this part is going to be crucial. This part is crucial. So, what happened is while Frankie was on the bus, he met this guy called Justin, and he made candy for this guy called Justin. And he ended up forgetting to give the candy to him. So he randomly had this one candy bracelet that said Justin, and no Justin to give it to. So we're on our way to the fucking venue, just going, Justin, do we have a Justin here? This fucking one guy behind us ends up fucking shouting, I'm called Justin, and we're like, we have a winner. And I just go, Frankie, do the thing. Oh damn. Honestly, like though, some of the things you see are just priceless. Like, one of the things was there was a guy walking a bag of spaghetti around on a leash. That was just, I think that's the best thing, to be honest. That one was the best thing. There was another guy that was spinning pizza dough around to the music. Oh yeah, and there was a group of people that had these inflatable sofas, and they just lined them up. There was like about 5 of them just lined up, and they were all just sat on them and raving to the music on the sofa. It was like, oh my god, that's amazing. And honestly, I think, okay, I'm just gonna name some things on the Friday that I absolutely adored. So I think Midnight Tyrannosaurus was on. His set was great. Like, I loved it. Subtronics was amazing. But one that stands out to me, other than like while it was still light, we'll go with while it was still light out. One that stood out to me was Ghastly. So bear in mind, before Lost Lands, I had no idea who Ghastly was. So on the second stage, Borgor was playing. Now, I knew Borgor. I'd heard a lot of good things about Borgor. So I went to go, like, I said to Frankie, because we were basically in the hammock, and I said, hey, I'm gonna go check out Borgor. Are you coming? He said, no, I'm gonna stay here. I'm like, okay, suit yourself. I'll be back afterwards. Anyway, I go off. I get these jumbo mozzarella sticks that they were buying. It was so good. And I find a place to sit down. Bear in mind, the entire time Ghastly's set was on, and I was just dancing around. Like, I really dig this. This is actually really good. I love it. And I end up at this one seat because I could not find a bench that wasn't full. So I ended up on this one bench, which was between both stages. I'm just sat on this bench between the stages, and I'm like, dude, I can hear both and see both right now. This is cool. I can literally make a decision while I'm eating. So I'm sat there, and I can hear Borgor in one ear and Ghastly in the other. And I'm looking at one stage, then looking at the other, and then I go, dude, sorry, Borgor, Ghastly wins. And I ended up, like, basically going back to the hammock. And I just said to Frankie, I'm like, Yeah, I'm really digging Ghastly a lot more. And he said, "You were quick." I'm like, "What do you mean? How long was I?" He said, "10 minutes." I'm like, I was gone for 10 minutes." I'm like, "Oh, okay."
So you were having lots of fun.
I was having a lot of fun, but the most fun came when we went like I was bear in mind I was sat in the hammock like rocking out to Ghastly. Like Ghastly, he went in so heavy. It was fucking amazing. It was wow. So I'm just like just going nuts in this hammock, and then uh, leaving leaving the venue to basically freshen up a bit. So we went off, and then I accumulated a Draco. Or should I say, we accumulated a Draco, and so I freshen up. Frankie freshens up, and then the three of us end up going back into the venue. We get there for Zed's dead, which Zed's dead set, like what we caught of it was just amazing. Um, and bear in mind that the people we went, they had this. It was a pink flamingo totem that they had, and literally they were way at the other of the stage, like, and I'm like, I'm not. Bear in mind, I wasn't wearing my glasses, and I'm like, I think I see it, but the only way to know is to get close. So, Frankie ended up having to go back to the camp, so me and Draco ended up just going towards it, and I I knew that Frankie would end up over that way anyway because I'd pointed it out to him earlier before we left. So I go towards the pink flamingo, or at least what I thought was the pink flamingo at the time, and turns out it was, because they did Kayla did tell me that, usually they're on the left side. We were on the right, so I'm like looking, and I'm following towards it, and we ended up finding them, and I chilled out for a bit with them, and then just before Zed's dead finished his set, I started off towards the front because I wanted to get to the rail for Excision, because those rails are nuts. They are insane. I wanted to be a part. So bad news is I didn't get to the rail. The happy news is I was right near the fucking front. So I'm like near the front, and there's like so much emotion going, and uh, on it. Excision set was so amazing. I had been waiting 7 years to see him live, and I got a 2 hour of just pure gold. I almost cried 5 times during that set. I actually had 3 people trade candy with me at the front of that. I got 2 Excision, and another guy gave me one that says "Life is Beautiful" and it says LL on the back, which LL meaning Lost Lands, and he actually had like a whole story behind that, but I'm gonna keep that one to myself, just because it's a bit pressure.
That's fair.
Um. So yeah, I'll tell you about it, Kuja, like later. not gonna say it on the Modcast.
Okay.
But he told me the girl, because he was with the girl that gave me the first Excision one I got at the, and what he'd actually, that they were further back, and he spotted, and he instantly knew that she would want to go over and speak to me. Like, bear in mind, you can see at the back of my head, I have an X-rated tattoo, which is an Excision related thing. And I had my head like freshly shaved bald for loss. So what ended up happening is she ends up getting to me and talking to me like he thought. Apparently she said, "I need to talk to that girl. She is fucking." Can you pause it a second? My friend keeps fucking spam calling me. Okay, so after the Excision, I was talking to those two for a little bit. That's why I ended up I ended up finding all that out. And then I said to them, "Hopefully, I'll see you around. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go find my friends." And so I go and I find Kayla and Ethan and everyone. It was two Kayla. I'll say K because she said everyone calls it K. So Kayla, and Ethan, and that the crew, should I say? Draco wasn't there by the time I got to them. Apparently, he'd gone. So I was like, oh, okay. And then, so I get back to them. We're just chilling out. The entire area is off, like, open by this point because Excision just finished his set. He was the final set of the night, and basically, what was is we're just chilled there for a little, and then like the after party. So at this point, like, Ghastly's back on the stage with someone else. I can't remember who. And all I'm hearing is things like like old school rave stuff, like "I'm Blue" by 5 and Daft Punk. And I was just like, oh my god. And then we walk around for a little to different stages. Like, we went to one stage and Liquid Stranger was playing. We went to another stage where Subdoctor was playing, and Subdoctor's set was so good. And yeah, literally that entire like after party stuff was fun. It ended at like 5 in the morning. It was like 5 in the morning going back to the camp. But there was actually one point during Liquid Stranger where, like, because there was this thing where people were throwing glow sticks. They would literally just get a bunch of glow sticks and throw them in the air so people could just pick glow sticks up. And I picked up a bunch of glow sticks, and I wound up just like dancing with these glow sticks. And I actually did this one thing where I was like dancing, and then this girl tried to go by, and I managed to time it with the music where I just like put my arms to the side to signal that she could get by as the music had stopped. And Kay literally watched the entire thing and just burst out laughing and started shaking her head at I had this like little cheeky grin on my face at the end of it. I'm like, I can't pull that off.
Rogue, the raving traffic warden.
Oh my. Honestly, like, the like with the totems and everything. Another, I like one more thing that I want to mention is because I'm not gonna say a lot right now because you're gonna have to watch the video. This is just filling so that you know some of the things that has happened, and you're gonna have to watch the video to be able to see everything else. So Kay actually, like, bearing like anyone who's in the ring, will understand what a perler, like, they will understand that people don't just give away perlers. Like, you are an extremely lucky individual if someone just gives you it without you trading anything back. So Kay actually, she says, "Hey, I want to trade." I'm like, "Okay." This was while we were making candy and we were getting ready. We just started packing up and we were getting, and she'd made this Excision perler, and I was looking at it the entire time, thinking, "Oh my god, that is so fucking cool! I wish I had." Bear in mind, I never said it out loud. I said it was cool, but I never said that out loud to her, so she had no idea that I loved it that much. And she ends up basically doing like she. So when you trade the candy wrist, you use one hand, and I I was like fairly new to the trading at that point, so she ends up putting up both hands, and I'm like, okay. So we do the we do the trade, like the peaceful of unity respect thing, and then she puts her head to mine. I'm like, oh, okay, what's going on? She puts this excision part over my head, and I'm like basically fucking speechless at this point. I'm like, oh my god, what? And I'm just there. Shit, what? And I'm like, fuck. Like, I don't even know this shit. And she's like, you don't have to give me anything. I'm like, what? What? And I'm literally just there, just speechless. And honestly, she I'm still getting the same way just thinking about it. As you can tell. um on I will say that that is the trade that I got the entire time on. And I don't think that ever. And for anyone that knows how much I fucking love it, I mean, if you don't know how much I love Excision, I'm gonna be genuinely surprised. So,
From what we can tell, is Excision is your favourite. But from the sounds of just listening, it sounds like you had an amazing time on your travels.
I honestly did. So much emotion. So much.
And now you have to come back to the boring UK.
Honestly, like, everything's been dull since I got back. The tan. I came back with a fucking tan. It's like, I was wearing sunblock. How did I tan?
You're just clever. So from what I'm gathering with how everything went, you're gonna go back. Like next year?
I am definitely going back next, and the year after that. Honestly, okay, as the description that.
Well, I'm glad that you're going to be going back and you're having a great time. One thing that didn't get mentioned.
I was literally just gonna say. I was just gonna say something, and I literally asked you evaded it.
Okay, sorry. I was just that you kept explaining about candy, but to people that are not in the raver scene in the UK, do you want to explain what candy is?
Okay, candy. Candy is what, like, say you can go to Walmart and get which they may you may know them as like pony beads, which you can also get pony beads there, but it's still called candy. But basically that's what candy is, and you can make like cuffs, brave suits. You can make so much with it. Put it that way. You can make a lot of stuff with it. Some of the spray is insane. One thing I flower cuffs is great.
Okay, so that's now being explained because obviously other people who listen to it wouldn't know what the candy is because they'd just think, oh, you're trading bags of candy.
Yeah. No. So, yeah, the song that I want everyone to listen, which basically sums up the for me every time I know. I mean, it already got me emotional as it was. More emotional. There's a song by Excision and Dion called Home, which I'm hoping kuja description.
It will be in the description below.
So, yeah. If you want to, if you can hack the dubstep, I want to that. And honestly, like that very, very special place in my heart.
Well, we're glad that you had a good time. We're also very glad that you're back and that you're back being one of the snack lords and being on the server and helping Jake and just generally we're glad that you're home.
I'm actually I'm kind of like thrown back that Jake was keeping tabs on me the entire time. He's
Of course
like,
he would.
yeah, she's good. Just like, yeah, she's good. I'll just check her up again. Yep, yeah, she's good.
Well,
wanted to share some of my with them. Like, there was scenery out there, and I will see it. It's like I'm enjoying it, but you know who else would enjoy it? Jake and Kaya.
yeah. But that may happen at some point. We never know. They may end up being in the US. We don't know this as of yet.
Hey, I was sending pictures. I don't think they've ever been to the East Coast. Which Jake, Kaya, get your butts to more parts of America than Northern California. Trust me, there's a lot more people where that came from.
Okay, so is that everything to do with Lost Lands and your travels, Rogue?
Apart from I celebrated a Jewish New Year.
Okay. That's a nice one to add. But I do believe that we are at the end of this Modcast right now.
Yes, Queen.
How did I guess that would be what you do? Anyway, thank you everyone for listening and listening to the Rogue go on about all of her travels and everything that she got up to. And she was a very busy woman for the past month, but she is back. This Modcast is now back, and it will be back every week. So it's a goodbye from me.
And goodbye from the glow stick. I love ya.
As always, please like, share and subscribe and hit that bell notification for all uploads so you never miss one of our episodes. And in the grand old words of Jake Munro, I'll leave this to Rogue.
I made it a great day today.
There we go. Catch you all later.
Goodbye.